Good morning. Today we are here to talk about the area of a triangle. But before we start talking about the area of a triangle, we are going to look at a shape we already know, which is a rectangle. To find the area of a rectangle, we take the base and we multiply it by the height. That gives us the area. That's how much space is in there. But if we look at what makes up a rectangle, so if I split this rectangle diagonally, we see that it forms a triangle here. So from there, we see that a triangle is just half of a rectangle. And that's where we get the area formula for a triangle. The area of a triangle is base times height. And then we divide it by 2. You always have to divide by 2 for triangles. But before we get into figuring out the area, we have to start identifying what is the base and what is the height of a triangle. So let's first look at this example. Sometimes when we think base, we think the bottom, and when we think height, we think going up and down. But for a triangle, because you can turn it, it won't always be that way. But let's look at this first example. What you always want to find is this right angle here. That right angle is going to connect this side that is your base and then your height. Your base and your height always have to be connected by a right angle. So we can turn this triangle like so. Ooh. Okay, we can call this side BC, the base, and we can call this side AB, the height. We could also turn it like this, and then we could call AB the base, which should make BC the height. So in a right triangle, the base and the height, they are interchangeable as long as they're connected with that right angle. Let's look at this next example. Okay, here we don't have any right angle, so we're going to have to make our own height. We're going to call side EF the base. And the height is, if we go straight up from the base to the opposite vertex, the opposite vertex. That's not quite straight. Let's try that again. And draw a right angle on there. So now this new line here, that's the height. Okay, the base always has to be a side of the triangle. The height is often going to be a dotted line, especially if you don't have a right triangle. But still, the thing that we always need that connects the base and the height is this right angle. Next example. Okay, here we have a right angle. So we can call AB the base, which should make AC the height. We could also switch that around. We could call AC the base, and we could call AB the height. Because a triangle can be turned around anyway. The base doesn't have to be on the bottom. Okay, this is an example where we do have our right angle. And once again, that's going to connect the base and the height. The base has to be a side of the triangle. So here we have QR. That's our base, which makes PS the height. Once again, I'm going to keep saying this. The base and the height have to be connected with this right angle. But the base has to be part of the triangle. So that's why QR has to be the base. And the height is often a dotted line just showing how tall your triangle is. Here are some examples of what your base and your height could look like. Each time, the base and the height are always connected with this right angle. Here's the base, here's the height. Here's the base, here's the height. We still have that right angle connecting the two. Okay, so now let's try it. Okay, so first we're going to write our formula. Area equals base times height divided by 2. we have our right angle, so I'm going to call 14 inches the base, 8 inches the height. So area equals 14 inches times 8 inches divided by 2, and at this point, if you wish to use a calculator, you may. 14 times 8 divided by 2, that gives us 56 square inches. So that's the space inside this triangle. Next example. Okay, once again we have a right angle. So that's going to connect our base and our height. I'm going to call 8 the base and 15 the height. You could switch it around, that doesn't matter. 15 could be the base, 8 could be the height. What's important though is that we're not using this 17, because 17 is not part of this corner, the right angle corner. So we write our formula, area equals base times height, divided by 2. Area equals 8 times 15, divided by 2. So the area of our triangle is 60, so here we have no units, so it's units squared. 60 square units. Now this time they give us a whole lot of extra information. But once again, we're going to find this right angle that's going to connect what we need. We have this side. Now it's a dotted line, so that has to be our height. And this side, it's part of the triangle, so that's going to be our base. All the extra information we don't need. This 14, not the base or the height. This 30 is not the base or the height. So, once again, area equals base times height divided by 2. Area equals 26 times 12 divided by 2. That gives us that the area is 156 square feet. And I think that's the end of our presentation for today. I hope that made sense. Email me if you have any questions. Thank you.